Born and ultimately destroyed on the prison planet of Fiorina 161, the Runner alien stands as a unique breed of Xenomorph never before encountered by those in the Alien universe, with physical and behavioral traits that are much more savage and animal-like than other versions we've seen of the alien species. Despite a fair amount of intense debating and planning taking place between Ripley and the prisoners of the planet once its presence is known, the host of this creature is never discussed or deduced by the group, as understandably, the more crucial and prioritized topic of discussion is how to destroy the creature. Though even Ripley herself notes the unfamiliar nature of this alien type, stating, "I haven't seen one exactly like this before. It moves differently." The Runner alien operates primarily on all four legs and, true to its name, is able to run at high speeds and displays a great amount of agility. It's also a bit larger than the standard Xenomorph, and even upon its birth appears to grow quite significantly. Unlike other chestbursters, which leave the host in an almost snake-like form with its appendages still growing, the Runner alien burst from its host just about fully formed, with all four legs already in place and already the size of a small dog. According to company notes, initial reports indicated that the mammalian host was one of the auks kept by the prison staff. The single surviving eyewitness from the Xenomorph interaction, however, maintains that the host was a dog. The actions of the resulting Xenomorph certainly appeared more canine than bovine. While it is true that in the final film the Xenomorph's host is not discussed, it is made clear that Morse, the only surviving prisoner, believed it to be Spike, the Rottweiler owned by the prisoner Murphy. In Space Beast, his written account of the events that took place on Fury 161, Morse expresses the following. "Turned out the thing came out of Spike, Murphy's dog. Poor old Spike. Didn't deserve Murphy anyway, so getting fucked by a monster was over the top. Wouldn't wish that end on a dog, though better a dog than me." Naturally, the identity of the animal which gave host to Fury's Xenomorph depends entirely on which version of Alien 3 one may be viewing. As per Morse's recollection and the later revisions made in Weyland-Yutani's report, the theatrical version portrays the Xenomorph being born from Spike, the dog, and also aligns with the story presented in the comic book adaptation of the film, which originally coincided with the 1992 release of the film. However, the 2003 assembly cut version of the film retains a great deal of footage cut from what would become the finished film and reveals the original host of the alien was in fact an ox named Babe. This expanded version shows more of how life on the prison planet functioned, including the inmates' use of oxen and the involvement of several of these animals used to salvage the crashed EEV pod containing the Xenomorph presence. And much like Spike in the theatrical version, Babe is attacked and impregnated by a facehugger off-screen. This aligns more with the adaptation by Alan Dean Foster in Alien 3's novelization, which follows more of the original version. Many have noted that the ox may have made more sense as a host based alone on the fact that the chestburster, born during Hicks and Newt's funeral, was simply too big and already the size of a dog itself upon birth. So with the ox as a host, this inconsistency is a non-issue, although the Xenomorph's behavior could be considered more dog-like regardless. Alien 3's troubled production is no secret to fans, and as the script and story and many other details of Alien 3 changed, the powers that be decided that a dog was a more appropriate host based on the resulting alien in the film we saw in 1992. Because of all this, the actual classification of Fury 161's Xenomorph varies greatly. Some call it the dog alien, while others call it the ox alien. And some prefer to refer to it as the dragon or the beast, which is how the inmates reference the creature. The most diplomatic, and I suppose most accepted, name attached to this Xenomorph is simply the Runner alien, for obvious reasons. Along with these surrounding factors and a final design which incorporated many ideas from H.R. Giger himself, the Runner alien has been one of the more fascinating and much discussed aliens from the series. How do you classify this particular Xenomorph, and what name do you find yourself calling it the most often? I'm curious to know. A lot of it may depend on the version you've seen, which version you prefer, and just generally which sounds best to you. Comment below and let me know. And as always, thank you very much for watching. I really appreciate it, and if you liked this video, please be sure to give it a like, and you can also hit the subscribe button to stay up to date with all the latest from the channel. If there's a topic you'd like to see covered, I'd love to hear your suggestion below, and I'll work towards getting to as much as possible. You can also follow Alien_Theory on Twitter and Alien Theory YT on Facebook for more. And until next time, this is Alien Theory, signing off.